Hey everyone, glad to jump in here. And by the way, I like everyone's points a lot, and I agree, especially with some of the stuff. I know Chuck's posted things, Mike's posted a few pictures, and then I agree definitely with some of James's insight as to uh, the way some of the some of the elbow locations and some of the setup things are factoring into affecting Quint's transfers and some of the tipping issues, or quote unquote tipping issues on the downswing. But I'm going to look at this a little differently here. So that said, I want to talk a little more about the issue of why it feels so good to Quint, or at least I think it feels better to him, to go into more of a, let's call it swinging left, zeroing it out, CP, whatever kind of mode you want to call it. And I think that's at the core of this and what's going on here. So as I look at this, and I'm going to run these swings here so we can take a look at these here, you're going to notice in this backswing here, in both of these swings. Now, one of these swings, he's, let's call it more of an angle delivery on the left here. So this is going to be more of a little bit of a push draw pattern, whereas on the right, he's going to be, going, let's call it closer to inline, or, again, CP, whatever term we want to have here. But one thing you're going to notice is I've marked the back of Quint's butt or tailbone here, and I've also marked his head. And in my opinion, what's going on here is I run this, and I'll just go ahead and pull this through, and you're going to notice here as this backswing completes how extreme the flex in Quint's left leg is here. And I know, and I'm doing a good job with the linkage, but look how extreme the flex. And if you do the measurement on these, it's pretty extremely flexed, and the left knee's going down and out, even with this camera view, and you can see how that's pulling Quint's head in towards the ball and his butt sort of back off the wall through these frames. Okay, now this is the point too on the backswing when you look at this face on, where you see his head, especially even during the first half of the backswing, you'll see his head start to move kind of forward as this is happening too. Again, I'm going to run this over here on the right as well. You're going to basically see the same thing. There's a better camera angle too, so you can see it a little better what's going on with that left knee. Lots of flex, pulling that head through the wall, so to speak, and the butt off the wall. Now, again, the issue I see here is that on the left-hand side here, when he's going to try to go angled at this and play push draws, from that position, I think you're going to feel very much like you got to make a lot of compensations to get that club shaft, get everything back down from the inside. And that's where the transfers really have trouble happening properly. This is when you're going to see him do everything he can to start shallow this out. The head starts tipping back. It actually moves back. From the face-on view, you'll notice it moves back past or more than its original location to try to let him hit out at this. And again, I think James mentioned that point, which was great. And in my opinion, that's again that's compromising. It's when the transfers start to get compromised like that, and we got things moving backwards through there, the geometry is clearly going to get changed. Now on the right, his whole premise here, Quint's premise, is that he's going to go ahead and he's going to, again, call it swing left faster. So when you notice those videos he put up in the green, you're not going to see near as much tipping. His left arm's he's just going to allow his left arm to shift out more. And you just go ahead and hammer through these things. Now, clearly these are going to be somewhat lower shots, but I think again the instinct here is, and Quint, I hope you post here on this, but the instinct is if you're in a situation where you're going to try to hit out at this ball from some of the positions on the left, you're going to have to make some compensations to do it, or at least you're going to feel like you may have to make some compensations to do it, and you probably rightfully so do. On the right, from that position, let's just say, the head has gone down and through the wall, the hips have come off the wall, the head is going forward slightly. You're going to go ahead and just say, well, the heck with it. I'm not worried about hitting out here anyway. I'm going to let my left arm shift. I'm going to swing left fast, and my head won't need to go back. I can still do the transfers, so to speak. So that's my take on that part of it. So now let's take a look at this from the face-on view where you can really see how this affects the transfers and what happens. And this is should be a really good look at it here. As I run this video, and you're going to notice too here that it's in this swing on the left here, you're not going to notice a whole lot of head movement forward. A little bit you can see through here, Quint, as the sort of extreme flex in the left knee pulls the shoulders a little steeper than they maybe should be. And I don't think you need to feel it in your shoulders. I think you need to feel your trail hip keep going back and up to that wall, and let that reduce some of the flex in the left knee. You'd still get the change in the linkage, but without so much hard flex in the left knee. And I think you'd like what you saw there from the way your head started to stay steadier. But you're going to notice again from this view, you're not going to see a whole ton of movement forward. But as this left leg starts flexing so much through this point of the swing, this is where that head is really crashing through the wall or going towards the ball from the down the line view. And now again, he's going to feel like he's got to get out of there. So you're going to see this head start going back, pulling back in off the wall. This is where the leg work starts to change. This is why I think it'll be, though I think he needs to work on his, I don't think the legs are over flexing all that much on the downswing. I think he needs to clean that stuff up, but I think it's going to be a lot easier from a good place to go from say A3 to A3, A4 and down. You can make it a lot easier on yourself. Again, I think the leg problems are coming in from having sort of to get out of there, knowing that you want to hit out of that ball, and you can again see how the transfers, the head moves back, the transfers again kind of change it. And again, we know we're being a little picky with this stuff here. This is an awfully good motion, everyone watching this, as you know. So again, this is just my take on how it gets better. Now here, face on view over here in the green shirt, you're going to notice we're still going to see the head. We saw from down the line, we still saw the head kind of crash through the wall as this left knee, over flexes going to the top. We still see the head go forward, but watch, the transfers are just going to be a whole lot better here. Again, because he knows what shot he's trying to hit. This is a different pattern. He doesn't feel, there's no instinctual, good players are going to have instinctual needs to do some of these different things, right? And I mean, I know I've been there. I know a lot of you have been there. There's no instinct to try to, that he feels like he has to do anything, quote unquote, tip it or tip the head or slow the transfers or anything, because it almost feels like, to him, you're going to swing left or, more of a, hit across, CP, whatever you want to call it again, kind of mode here. So again, that's my take. I'll throw some comments up here as well, but hope this makes sense to everyone.